Many things here, and I always catch something every time I hear it again. One thing, you don't have to be a citizen to contribute to this country. Well, I understand that, but the same would apply to a tourist who visits the city and buys a lot of Slovakia, right? I mean, yeah, they're contributing. Touche, thank you. But you're talking about the president then, in this case, justifying those going into a voting booth and going ahead and not fearing that that action is going to lead them to being taken out of the country, or their family or legal members from being taken out of the country. I don't know where to begin with that. But the Arizona GOP chairman, big Trump supporter Robert Graham, says this is the highest ranking official in the country upholding our Constitution. Robert, that's scary stuff coming from the President of the United States. You needn't worry.
Yeah, it is terrifying. You know, you would hope for a reflexive response that he would say, hey, this is not just the sanctity of the vote, but it's a sacred vote for legal citizens of the United States of America, and that's only those people that have the right to the vote. That's what I was hoping for when I saw the clip as well, in utter shock as he kind of followed on about undocumented folks.
So he should have immediately gone in, to your point, to say, let me be very clear. I assume the people you're talking about going into the voting booth are legal American citizens, to which this young woman might not say that. And then it says, but to use the voting booth as a chance to feel that you can be shielded from anyone, even if you're doing an illegal act, it's crazy.
It's absolutely, you know, just this last week we won, just yesterday, we won a case that was for the state of Arizona to protect the sanctity of the vote against ballot harvesting. And it was one of these things where you talk about protecting the vote, and then you turn the corner and you find a statement like this, and you just get socked in the gut. It feels like every time you turn around that the progressive liberal agenda is any way to rig, gauge, turn, or try to benefit, I call it cheating, to try to win the election. And they're doing it against not only the will of the people, but they're doing it against the Constitution, the most simple, awesome document that has ever been written. And the president doesn't even have the authority to do this, but he's encouraging this bad behavior.
Now, of course, it's no mystery that many in the Democratic Party, feeling that this is a base of eager potential voters, has done everything it can in its power, forget about returning them to where they came from, but to encourage more coming here, and we'll sort this out later, even to the point of voting. Now, again, the Republicans, or those who are concerned about this, or guys like you who are dealing on the front lines with this, are deemed either racist or worse or heartless. But I've not seen a cohesive response on the part of Republicans. Now, Donald Trump says build a wall, let the Mexicans pay for it. But where's this going? What is your sense of how Republicans in general, or Americans in general, legal Americans, have to respond to a threat the media says every time they raise hackles about it, they're deemed racist or worse?
Well, I think what's happening now is the underbelly of America. It's become less of a partisan issue today in Arizona specifically, and more about the reality of undocumented people. I mean, we see this in our borders, where we have anywhere from hundreds to thousands of people a day that come in through the porous nature of our border, and we have to deal with this. And we're finding also that on the Latino side, I mean, when people are stealing people's IDs and identifications, they're not stealing Robert Graham's identification. They're stealing Jose Rodriguez or somebody like that. They're taking somebody's name that matches their ethnicity. And we're seeing this challenge. So it's really interesting, because I think people are starting to push against the whole racist banter, the bigot name calling, and they're starting getting back to the real root issue. In Arizona, it is a massive impact on our jobs, on our economy, and so you're seeing all Arizonans kind of put up their dukes a little bit and say, look, we really have to deal with this.
But it starts in a subtle way. I don't want to belabor the point, but even the way it's portrayed in the media is that you are against immigration. They've left out the whole illegal part, but
that's right.
It's morphed into something pretty sad. Robert Graham, thank you very, very much.
Yes.
Arizona.
Thank you.
GOP Chairman Trump surrogate, but